What's up, Internet? Welcome back, as the screen says, to Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector. In the last episode, we just kind of got through the little prologue section. We're going to be keeping these down to slower, smaller episodes. So yeah, we're right into the game. We've escaped the initial clutches of our captor lane, and now we have to forge on our own. So, the game runs in cycles, during which you can perform actions with your dice. Use cryo to buy food, fuel, supplies, and items. Progress clocks towards new scenes and events. You can review tutorials at any time in the guide section, yada yada yada. Use the mouse wheel to scroll your view. Select locations with left click, right click to leave a location. Great. Oh, I see. Okay, great. Right, I think that was possible in the original game. Nice. All right, cool. So we have $24, 24 cryo, no fuel, and a few supplies. So let's check what we got. Again, we have what we said at the last episode, we got a really good roll. So let's take advantage of that for sure. But the way I played the original game is I viewed every option. What did I have to do for the day? And then go down the line and choose what the best use of our time was. So you can quickly visit and leave the rig with the right click. Okay. The rig is your ship and home in the starboard belt. While the rig is docked at a hub, there are multiple areas you can visit. Bunks, use dice to reduce stress. Galley, use supplies to regain energy. Other locations will unlock as you play. While the rig is in dock at a hub, your crew will also help to gather resources to contribute to the upkeep of the ship. You can choose which resources they should focus on in the crew task menu in the left. They have a random chance of acquiring it at the beginning of the following cycle. Copy. And cycle is a day. This clock is a cycle clock. It will progress towards an event each cycle. Its completion will trigger significant events. So, this is our first big clock. So, on the run, you've put some distance between you and Lane, but you are sure that he'll close the gap as soon as he is able. So, this looks like let's count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 16-ish days until Lane catches back up with this. It sounds like a lot of time, but that's really not a lot of time. To get us completely ready to move on, that's a lot. Okay, so Seraphin. Oh, I see. Okay, so Seraphin he has what skills do we have here? So welcome to the character screen. On the left, you can upgrade your skills to improve the skill modifier. To the right, you can upgrade your push, the unique ability of your class. When upgrading your push, only one upgrade at each level can be active at once. Got it. Oh, I see. So we could do one or the other, but we can't do both. So no dice damage on push reroll or reroll +1 dice. Interesting. Okay. So we do not have the endure skill. So this is engage, intuit, interface, and engineer. Okay. So Seraphin has the engage ability, but he also has endure, which we don't have. So he should be doing we should try to have him do some of the more engage type features. Okay, so odd jobs, scavenge fuel, or supplies. We should probably get him to scavenge fuel if we can. Okay. What else is on the ship? So rig bunks. Rest and recover. Sometimes it's necessary to rest, or at least try to, if the compact bunks of the rig. This will help you reduce stress when not on a contract. Okay. Make a meal. Supplies are typically saved for contracts, but when food isn't readily available, you've got to use what you've got to survive. So, okay, so if we don't have money, we can use supplies to eat. But again, that's a last resort, I think. Okay, so we got two different things here. Hexport docks. Okay, so we've basically talked about this. The only thing I didn't say before in this blurb is this. So each action is also rated safe, risky, or dangerous based on the outcomes it has. The more dangerous an action is, the more significant both its rewards and consequences are. Right, so I don't want to waste a 3 on a danger because it makes things much more scary. Let's see what our options are here. Chat to crews. There are plenty of crews milling about the docks and moving cargo. They could be a good source of info. The Hexport docks thrum with life. There are contacts to be made here, you are sure of it. Hexport docks are a dizzying mess of braided cables and flickering signage, filled with busy spacers. Exploring is both thrilling and intimidating. So, okay. And then these two things it's a really simple and clean idea. I really like it. So just by doing actions, it fills this clock, which is the Hexport. So we read this one, the Hexport connections. We're going to want to fill this. See, it's a positive clock, which means that we'll get something or do something once we finish it. So we're going to be doing these two actions to try to fill this up to 6. So we need to fill 6 units of this. Now, it's possible that doing a really successful action will net us more than one. So if you see, if I put this in, it gives me 25% positive, 50% neutral, 25% negative. Negative probably doesn't fill it at all. Maybe it reduces 1. Neutral probably just gives us 1. And positive might give us 2 or 3. Who knows? That's good to know. Let's go here now. Hexport exchange. Trade scrap. Trading scrap is all about identifying materials and cleaning up components. It's an engineer's job more than a trader's. Okay. Impress the brokers. The data brokers are the heart of the exchange. They show off their knowledge by discussing decryption. Maybe if you can talk the talk. Interesting. I see. So it uses the symbols to kind of explain how good are we at certain skills. And this one is only 4. The exchange budget buzzes with the conversation of commerce. This is a place where contracts are found. You just need to look. Cool. Okay, so what is the... Oh, I see. Okay, so we are just... What does the line through it mean? Oh, I see. Okay, so this one, our plus, is our interface. So interface we're really good at. These two we are okay at. Engineer, I would say we're bad at, and then endure we just cannot do, basically at all. So this is our best skill. These are our next 2 best skills. Engineer is like okay, so because we don't have this level, right? We could get there. We could upgrade this, which might be important. I would love to balance out our skills a little bit, so that way I'm not relying on 1 or 2 skills the whole time. But okay, cool. So I think the best thing to do, I want to use the 6 here, I think, because if I do that, because this one I'm okay with, I can do engage stuff. Engineer, this is the only one that I might want to use it on, but it still gives me a negative. Ooh, okay. Did the other game do that? Did the previous game do that? Where it like reduces the number? So if you see it, I'm not so good at it, so the danger reduces that to a 4, which is not great. See, that's 100% positive. So that will be the number that I put in there, right? Oh, that goes, oh, okay, I get it. So this reduces the number because I'm not good at the skill. This increases the number because I am good at the skill. So that's good to know. So then what does the docks here do? So that's 100% positive no matter what. 100% positive. How about... So yeah, that's just a normal 3. Got it. Okay. So what do I want 100% positive? I think I really should just do this, right? I want to make sure I have 100% positive action. Let's see. 3! You just progressed a clock. Clocks track your progress, yada, yada, yada. You notice the patterns, start to identify the signage and glyphs. The logic of Hexport unfolds. Cool. Do I want to maybe have a fully positive outcome over here, too? So that way... Ooh, I see there's a new location in there, too. Maybe. So rather than give that a 1... Yeah, that's still dangerous, though. I can make that a 6 and make that a fully positive result. Yeah, I think that might be the way to go. Let's try to see what this does. Nice, that's 2. You intervene when 2 brokers struggle to unpick a Senate stat cache. Right, ooh. And expertly unpick its security protocols. They are impressed. Okay, so we're halfway through there. Nice. All right, I'm not going to use my 3s yet. Let's go to the... Ooh. Okay, we have 2 locations. Hello. Here you can eat in exchange for cryo. Eating gives you energy and stops you starving. Different foods give you different minutes of energy. Cool. Okay, so play Star and Stoker. S&S is a space gambler minigame played with custom magnetic dice. Chits are stashed in symbol-marked cans, and winning is ruthlessly luck-based. No thank you, if I don't have to. A plastic bag of flash-fried salt-flecked tubers. The Ben's fry brings spacers back to the scattered tables of the bar, cycle after cycle. Okay, that's cheap food. We'll take that. Maybe I'll do that. Let's see what the other space is. Hexport Trading Hall. Ooh, okay. So this is all of our... This is all of our stuff that we have to get here. So if you have enough cryo, you can fill up... Oh, I see. Okay, so rather than individually buying one at a time, we could just buy everything we need in one go. And I'm sure that number will go down if we got more supplies. Cool, okay, and then fuel, the same thing. So we almost had enough to have fuel, but we also have to eat, so that's important. Maybe I just wait. Maybe I wait until I have enough money for both. So that would be, what, 70? So I need to make sure I have enough money for 70 cryo while not making myself go broke. Okay, cool. But there's no dice uses here, and there's not really a dice use here. I could, but I don't really want to. So let's, I want to try to progress these clocks. I'm afraid of this one because it tanks my dice. This one brings me up to at least a 4, so let's try to do that. Let's see if I could get maybe a positive out of it. All right, cool. You try to advise a broker on ways to break open Solheim data caches, and they seem vaguely interested. Cool. All right, let's split our time well here. Let's go back over here. We did this one. It's dangerous, so, but it's also neutral, so it allows us to keep the 3 as it is. This one, same thing. 3 is just a tough number because it's so split down the middle. Let's try it though. Cool. You join a few spacers resting in the docks and pick up a few local tips. Nice. I think I'd rather with my other 3 try... Ooh, I see one more. Let's go here. Freight loading. The warehouses at the Hexport docks supply the industrial operations of the station, meaning they need constant loading and restocking. So that's going to be a job. If I do that, though, right, I'm immediately dead. So let's not do that yet. Let's go to here. And let's do one more with the Impress the Brokers. Hopefully we get at least a neutral outcome. Nice. You've established a presence here, and the brokers seem to be a little more comfortable around you. And I see now we're blocked out. You used all your dice for the cycle. You need to end the cycle at your rig to reset them, or whatever it said. Cool, okay. New location discovered. Another new location. Wow, we're busting this place open. Hexport Canteen. Eat at the canteen. Most trade halls have a canteen where they prepare their own dishes from the packed supplies they otherwise provide. So this is 13 versus the 7. I wonder if 7... Is this a better meal than... Well, we're broke right now, so I'd rather pay the easier one. Yeah, that's fine. You squeeze your bag and crunch a handful of crisp and greasy radishes and potatoes. Not bad at all. Yeah, fair enough. Fries are good. All right, that's day 1. That's 1. Let's do it. Actually, and also I feel like supplies are probably... They're more expensive, so if he could get supplies, that's probably better for us. All right, end the cycle. Oh, I see map there, too. I wonder what that does. Okay, so we lost in energy for the day because it's a new day. This isn't great. Look at this. 4 3s and a 6. Okay. We're in trouble, Sleeper. Seraphin leans into the bunks as you're getting up. Without further explanation, he disappears down the corridor towards the rear of the ship. You drift out into the passage, pulling on your clothes, and glide down the length of the rig, the cool air making you shiver. Seraphin is a silhouette, silently leading the way. He stops at the far end, diverting through a side door, shooting you a glance as he does. You find Seraphin inside, holding one of a tangle of arm-thick tubes that are waving in the 0G engine room. You know what these are? Tubes fuel pipes. We don't know. These are the engine's feed lines. He waves one in the air, and before you ask, no, they aren't supposed to be waggling loose. What happened? These must have broken loose when we pushed the ship hard on our way out of Darkside. He looks at the mess. We're lucky the reserve tank is empty. Otherwise, he shakes his head, it would have been bad. But he pushes the pipe to the side. No feed from the reserve tank means that the rig's range is limited to the local region only. He thumps the large lumpen housing of the engine. This thing can't take us anywhere far. So we fix it? Seraphin sighs. That's the short of it. Seraphin whacks the engine housing again, harder this time. Just not been our run of luck. He turns and starts gathering the tangled feed lines, his frustration evident in the violence of his movements. We'll need a new set of these, that's for sure. He starts forcing them into a crate. So how about you try to track them down? I'll take a look at things here and see if I can figure out another fix for the reserve tank. He glances up from his work. From what I've heard on Hexport, Factory Row is the place to find shiplifters. Ship fitters. Maybe you could do some recon while I sort this place out. It's on the other end of the station. Factory Row. Okay. I'll take a look. Seraphin keeps working. Wait. There's something else. He drops the feed lines as they float, waving in the air like tubular seaweed. I've heard word that Lane's on the hunt. He frowns. A message went out everywhere in the local radius of Darkside. He's looking for us. Shit. You said it. Seraphin sighs. He sighs a lot. Which is why we need those feed lines. I'm gonna try to work something out. Maybe I could improvise a solution. I don't know. He looks down. I'm no ship fitter. But while I do, you go hunting. See what you can turn up, okay? He smiles a weak smile. Get going. You leave the engine room, the clanking sound of Seraphin's cleanup efforts echoing through the ship. Fuel feed lines. That's the next step. You take a deep breath and head out. Cool. You've discovered a drive. Drives help you track and choose your objectives in Citizen Sleeper 2. The yellow button in the top left opens the drive menu where you can choose which drive to track. Once a drive is tracked, a yellow marker that will be placed above any location that relates to that drive. Drives come in two types, major and minor. Completion of a major drive rewards 2, and minor rewards 1 upgrade point. Keep an eye on the drive menu as you progress. So they're quests. Those are our quests. Escape Hexport. Cool. Lane is hunting you, and Hexport isn't far from Darkside. Refuel, repair, find what you need, then leave before he finds you. So now this, 15 days left is definitely looking more dire if we have to completely fix a part of our ship. Rig engine, shipboard engine system. The engine's fuel capacity is extremely limited, but new feed lines would allow you to hook up a reserve tank to increase it. Got it. So we actually could collect those feed lines. Got it. All right. New location discovered. Okay, so we have Factory Row. Cool. So we could go to our old haunts here. We still have to do, which is the... Oh shit, now I'm forgetting. Well, that's the indoor one. We might actually want to use... Actually, I'm curious. This brings it down to a 4 still, right? Yeah, that's still tough. That makes things so tough. Export docks? Right. Okay, so we could go to the docks here. We want to finish this up, too. It's going to be the same odds no matter what we do. So... it's almost better to do the easier one, but this one could probably give us more. We'll see. Let's go to the new location first. Factory Row. Search the row. The factory owners of the row speak mostly in terms of supply and demand, but going door to door might help you find the ship fitter you need. Factory Row is filled with workers hauling materials through its zero-G corridors. Helping might win you some fans among the factories. Yeah, so this one also... Endure is so... it's so frustrating because we really need to have an Endure skill. I'm willing to run this one. I think. This is really tough. The decisions that you have to make on some of these things is so tough. And I have a lot of 3s. So let's go to actually... Let's do this one with a 3. Let's see what we get with this. Nice. You join a few spacers resting in the docks and pick up a few local tips. I wonder if we just do that one more time, just so we have this one finished out. Risky. Nice. You have a good sense of this humming way station. Time to use that knowledge to your advantage. Okay, so we've filled this clock up. As you're gliding across the docking concourse, you hear a scuffle. The noise of raised voices cuts through the conversation, drifting out of the dockside shops. Glancing down an alley, you see a huddle of figures shouting back and forth. You spot one man in the middle of the group, surrounded, pushing the others back as they grab at the bag slung over his shoulder. You don't like the way this looks, but then again, Seraphin told you to keep your head down. Ooh. Ooh, so we don't have any, our skills don't help us a lot here, but I think we gotta cause a distraction. Nice. You look around for something that could break up the fight, and you see the thick cooling pipes running down the alley wall. You quickly try to understand the system and choose a valve to start spinning. As you do, the system begins to vent in sequence down the alley, violent jets randomly bursting in the air. There's a scramble in the alley, and you spot the figure who is being attacked drop down to the alley floor. Then your vision instantly fills with pale liquid as a jet of coolant jumps out nearby, missing you but sending you spinning in 0G. After a few moments, you manage to steady yourself. As you do, you see a clear alley, the assailants having fled, with one figure gliding towards you. I suppose you think that was clever. The man gives you a severe look. You like to break up fights you didn't start, he laughs. Belt's gonna eat you up. His name is Femi. He shifts the large bags on his shoulder, weightless but unwieldy in 0G. I was helping. The man laughs. Well, he shakes his head. Thanks, I guess. He kicks off and drifts past you. You watch the man go, and then, after a moment, he stops and turns back. He rubs his forehead, looking down as he does. What's your deal, anyway? He sighs. Maybe you're new here, but Hexport is no place for do-gooders. I know what it's like. To get beat up? The man shakes his head. Hexport's got real rough. Look, let's not hang around, alright? The man pats his chest. I'm Femi. He unshoulders one of the bags and pushes it toward you. Make yourself useful. Let's head. You get the strap of the bag over your shoulder and follow him towards the docks, or through the docks, gliding past the concourse towards the connecting bridge. He cuts down a side passage, looking back to check you are following. Then he stops at a docking bridge, connecting you to a dull ship with yellow markings. You look out at the viewing window at its odd catamaran-like shape, seemingly built from two separate hulls welded together. Symbol crash, he says, and you assume that's the ship's name. Femi, you bringing in strays? A young woman, brightly dressed and stretching as she glides, drifts into the passage. She glances at you. No offense. Nia, a headstrong and spirited salvager. Nia. Femi shakes his head. This one? He squeezes your shoulder. Help me fend off some Hexport scum while you were busy sunning yourself. Nia raises an eyebrow. I'm sure you could handle them, big brother. Her glib response I'm sure you can handle them, big brother. Her glib response hides the flash of concern that passes across her face. You can't tell if Femi noticed. Nia turns to you. Thanks. She smiles sweetly. And I'm sorry for my brother. She shoots him a glance. Just in general. Nia, Femi murmurs. Enough now. He reaches over and takes the bag you were carrying. Nia rolls her eyes at you, but stays silent. Factory Row wouldn't take these. Femi hefts the bags. I'm gonna load them back up. Maybe we'll find a use for him. He turns back to you. Thanks for the assist, Sleeper. He nods firmly. Not what I expected. He slaps the button for the bridge door and kicks off along the docking bridge on his way to the symbol crash. Nia looks at you with raised eyebrows. I hope my brother was joking, or did you really help him? I tried. Thank you. She looks back at the ship. My brother needs more help than he admits. What do you mean? She tenses. I don't know if... She smiles a tight smile. I shouldn't have said anything. She pauses, thinking, I want to ask you something. She takes a deep breath, then gives you a direct look. What's she building up to? Are you looking for crew? She looks away. Sorry to be direct, but you seem like, well, if you're on Hexport, maybe you're with a crew? She stops herself. I mean, maybe your crew needs crew. Maybe you're looking? Why do you ask? Nia looks back at the ship, then at you. Look, I'll be honest. Being on a crew with my brother is nice, but he is suffocating me. She frowns at her own bluntness. I'm not a kid anymore, you know? But he still sees me like one. She shrugs. I want to show him I can handle myself. I need experience. I need to run some contracts. She gives you a determined look. What do you say? I'll think about it. I'm a good salvager, all right? You can use me. She smiles. I could spot things, find gaps, ways in. She folds her arms across her chest. I know what I'm doing. Femi taught me well. She glances back at the ship. Just consider it, all right? Let me prove myself. Suddenly, a shout comes from the ship, echoing down the passage. Femi. He makes both of you nervous. Neil looks in his direction. I should go. She pushes off towards the docking bridge. I'll be waiting. Nia gives you one last glance as she departs, then disappears into the docking bridge, leaving you alone in the passage. Ooh. New local crew available. Cool, I wonder what that means for us. Can I hire her? Do I have to pay her, or does she just want to get the experience? That sounds terrible, but I'm curious to know what that means for the game. I wasn't expecting that. All right, I think we're running a little bit low on time, so despite not having finished another day, I think we'll pick this up in the next one. This game is great. I mean, it's so cool. The world is so dense and the writing is so interesting. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. Please give this video a like if you like this episode, and subscribe if you want to see all future episodes coming up. I appreciate all the love and support always from this channel. It's a nice little thing I do. Again, not trying to make it anything big. I just like playing games and like sharing those experiences with other people. And we'll share this next one in the next episode. We'll see you then.